All right there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Teaching the Dailies series. Today we have level 6, focusing on pathing and etiquette things. So let's just get right into it today. I don't have anything really much to say. Our first game is going to be on Moderne, which is a really good pathing venue. I've talked about it many a times. And we have Burgess versus Adafish. And level 6 is a little difficult. I think level 6 and level 7, I'm going to have to probably play closer to my actual play style. And hopefully, just after, playing like that, I could talk about more of the pathing related things. So I'm just going to get into it, and then we'll see how it goes. So I think my main goal for this is to either catch the spy, probably within like the first minute using my traditional means, or like low light the party a little bit, and then make it easier to watch stuff, just to try to sort of like exemplify the papping sniper style. Sorry. So let's go. Game one. Okay, so we have Puff, Nunu, and we have Puff again. No one's at bar, so no bar cheese. I gotta look at Windows. Only two people at Windows, Salmon and Disney, but Disney does watch check. Okay. We highlight the statue visitors. And there's a lot of people at bar, but right now I think only Seek and Sari are going to have drinks. And then just to reiterate the statues, Puff, Nunu, Puff, and then there should be a print at green. Buns has a really good redirect, and Smallman's path is really good, so I'll reward it. I like Buns' path a lot. All right, there's a lot of people who have a delegate up right now, so I'm trying to watch for emotion in the party at the moment. Gotta watch for bug. All right, so we're all good so far, and they're all gonna expire at like 10 seconds. Yeah, Bun's path looks pretty good, but I'm not gonna low light it quite yet. Okay, we're just watching for bug here. Okay, Perlin does not go. And now I feel comfortable low lighting Buns because she has a nice left center glass path. Still no one went to green bookcase yet, so there's been no print. Now there's also a print at the bar. Okay, Red Dress's path isn't perfect, but it's okay. Not shootable quite yet.
Banana bread.
Okay, three low lights, Seek, Sorry, and James Bond. So I'll low light them. And it looks like Irish completely just leaves conversation. And all the delegates have expired except for Alice at this point, so we have a lot of room for error. And Alice takes a nice AI looking path. So does Plain Twin. That could have been a bug, so I need to watch the slide. It's not slide. Okay, but I don't think Red Dress has a print anywhere, so we're all good. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Yeah, that's just a shot. Yeah. Okay, so she did bug on the way out of that conversation, by the way. She bugged like right here. But I think I was watching something else, so I was not completely on top of that. So I was trying to make sure to watch the slide, but we didn't slide, so I'm still watching for the purloin. And if you recall, I said the only person in the chain was Alice, but Alice I think took around like 50 seconds or so. Let me double check myself. Let's see. Yeah, she took around 50 seconds here, so um, there's no delegates currently active, and if someone straight up takes, then it's forced to be the spy. And I think in that game we got a couple like nice pathing lowlights. I think we got like three or four, and then we got like three again from the BB. So there were some nice lowlights going on, and it's actually funny because I think I didn't like this entry into conversation for some reason. Yeah, that was ugly right there, but I don't think I saw that. Yeah, it's that little like sort of curve. Like the spies just have some sort of like curve when they like, walk into conversations sometimes, and it just looks a little bit suspicious. So I kind of kept it at the back of my mind. It's not shootable, like I said in game, but it's definitely something that I would have noticed and maybe just made a mental note of if she ever gets any activity later on in the game. Because remember, we're at 2:30 right now, and and the party's honestly pretty dead, so I wasn't really that worried about anything. And yeah, we got a a decent amount of lowlights that game, so that was a good game one. All right, we have game two, Rob versus Lagorv Janine, and it's 3-5, 330, and 11 guests. And it looks like it's a soft tail variant, so instead of Purloin being on, it is Fingerprints, because normally you leave Bug, Contact, Inspect, and Seduce on, and then it's just about that fifth mission. Most people want to do Purloin because it's nice in a pinch. Most of the pathing on this venue, to my knowledge, is just conversation entries and maybe some slides, but we'll have to see. It's still going to be basically mission counting at the beginning, so let's go. Gotta watch for that early bug. Okay, Sorry's the only one with any sort of bug credit there for me. And Red Dress does not bug, and Purloin we could just low light. But we still have to watch Fingerprints. So let's see how many cycles that Teal does, and also Kane goes next to her too, by the way. Okay, so unfortunately, Teal's gonna have inspects, so it's gonna make her life a little bit harder. We gotta watch who she goes next to and flirts by. Hopefully, Kane wasn't her ST, because that would be unfortunate. No, but that was a really good path. And she doesn't really go on next to anybody. She just go next to Bling Twin though. So okay, and then Kane also now with a print. So we are at 2 prints, but Smallman has no flirt. And Kane now has flirts with White Dress and Teal. And okay, so Ambassador puts briefcase down, so we gotta watch that. Yeah, it's pretty hard to watch pathing on this venue when the margin for error is so small. Okay, White Dress with a another fingerprint, or not another finger, just one fingerprint. Sorry. Okay, so right off the bat, I don't think it's Teal. I mean, she's not doing like any flirting whatsoever, and I liked her first path a lot. Okay, so now Ambassador has another briefcase. So next time he puts it down, we'll have to take note of that. Smallman still is not flirting. Still no flirt from Smallman. Let's watch Teal's path again. Teal doesn't seem that suspicious to me. She's just not flirting enough. But we do go in the same conversation as Bling Twin again. Okay, White Dress. I like White Dress's path. All right, there's almost no way that it's Smallman, so he's just pretty much a low light to me at this point in time. Kane doesn't actually go next to White Dress. Kane doesn't really have much mission progress at the moment. Okay, so Smallman could be going for a fingerprint here, and he did get the first print of the game. So if Smallman's in for a BB, we gotta remember that. Ah. Okay, but it looks like he slid there. Oh, he still doesn't have flirt. I'm pretty sure this was a bug by Blink Twin, by the way. Okay, no, so I think I... Okay, so let me take you where I thought there was a bug, but I think I'm just being I think this is just pure paranoia. Let's see. All right. Okay, so right here I thought to myself, oh, there could be a bug, but yeah, I guess there's no way. There's no way for there to be a bug, and like, yeah. So at this point in the game, so with that banana bread, as you can see from like Lagor's highlights in the actual game, you can see that Smallman, Kane, and White Dress are all low lit from the BB. Or wait, White Dress is still in conversation, so never mind. She's not low lit from BB, but Kane and Smallman are low lights, and the only other person who has any sort of mission progress is Teal, but all of her paths have looked good at the game, have looked good in the game. Irish has no third mission. Sorry has no third mission, and Red Dress has no third mission. So the only possible other person who has any possible progress is Bling Twin, because White Dress, also don't forget, does not have a third mission. I think she has one print. So I I shot Bling Twin because I thought to myself, okay, maybe he bugged there, and maybe I just didn't see it because I was kind of not watching it, and I only saw like the weird bouncing from like him and Kane. So I thought to myself, okay, I probably need to shoot this just in case. It ends up being wrong, but all the other mission counts were correct, unfortunately. But sometimes these games just happen, and I'm also not focusing 100%. So in your actual game, you're not going to be talking through stuff. So hopefully you'll have a better count than I would. But yeah, we were pretty on top of everything that game. I mean, no one had fingerprints completed. A lot of no one. I feel like most of our main suspects weren't really flirting. Like Smallman didn't have flirt. Kane really wasn't flirting. Teal just looked way too AI like. No inspects and no bug. Unless Blink Twin of course had one, but not a problem. So that game was pretty interesting. I think Teal. We got lucky that Teal was kind of like a low light basically. So we didn't have to shoot for like the center inspector. But yeah, I mean that was just a bad shot by me. I think I could have held there. And I don't think Blinksman had flirt probably. So there's no need for me to even shoot that there. But um, yeah, you live and you learn. All right. Next we have Banana Bread versus I don't know who that is. But Banana Bread is one of the in the community. So, and we're on pub, and there's a lot of pathing stuff on pub, as I talked about in the last video. It's probably the most abusable pathing venue. I don't ever consider myself really a pathing sniper on any venue except this venue because there's just so much stuff you got to abuse. And most of the time in competitive, it's any 3 of 7, because you can get away with camping on 4 of 7, and it's not that big of an issue. But with the lowlights I'm going to be taking this game, I also decided in that like level 6 and level 7 when I do level 7, I'm just going to take pathing lowlights no matter what. So like if it's something that I don't think people would know, I'll take a lowlight for it. Like so for example, like is there a high probability that the spy is going to be on AI control here? Probably not. Probably not. So I'm going to low light every single, great path that I see. And likewise, I'm also not going to, low light if it's something like Firelord Ethan who knows his paths. I'm not going to low light for things that maybe I'm like, okay, they could probably reproduce that. So yeah, before I get into pub, I wanted to say all that. So here we go. And I'm going to be low lighting for a lot of good paths here. So let's see. So we have Scream, so AH, of course. General with some really good stutter movements there. So he's probably just going to be a low light, so we can already kind of picture that. Sorry. And Buns is the first delegator. Wheels path looks okay. This conversation is really full. I almost guarantee you the spy's in there, but let's watch Buns path out of the bar. Remember, it's like this sort of like straight movement and across there. Okay, we got to watch our statue inspector with a nice. Okay, so nice briefcase redirect from Bling Twin. Got to watch for bug. Okay, Wheels is probably a low light there. I think I saw him slide onto that window pad. Yeah, Bling Twin takes a really good path. That looked like the bouncing from Wheels that I like to see. Let's check his window etiquette. 1-1000, 2-1000, 3-1000, and he does move on time. Yeah, I'm gonna low light Wheels. He does not seem like the spy at all. General is probably a low light. Okay, Duke should have probably redirected from that briefcase. Okay, that looks really good from Cowboy.
Banana bread.
Okay, yeah, we stopped talk right after the BB, so I think Banana Bread living up to his name kind of gives himself away with that one. Yeah, Rocker with a really good path. Yeah, it's probably over. Okay, I think Bun's just locked into place there, so we can low light that. There's the bouncing off the pub door. Okay, let's watch Duke's path here. Yeah, very straight linear path, very spy-like. And he's probably going to bug here. Yeah. Yeah. How do I know he's going to bug there? Well, I mean, there's no mission progress from anybody. We already think he's the spy, and he's probably just going to bug there. Yeah. So not much more to be said about that game. We found the spy. I think he should have redirected off that briefcase. Also, that conversation entry just seemed very spy-like. And I feel like I say this a lot, where I'm like, "Oh, this is very spy-like," and it's like I can't really communicate. I feel like exactly what I mean. It's just like it feels like they enter conversation wider than usual, and like the actual entry feels much more like linear and straight into the conversation rather than some sort of like lock in place or like an AI movement. It just feels spy like you play enough games, you watch enough games, and you're like, yeah, I could tell that that was very very weird behavior. So it was kind of just a pattern. It's a pattern recognition thing. I've seen so many games, and it just seems spy-like to me. Okay, I don't know how else to explain it. There's certain things that I watch, but then there's other things I'm like, yeah, that's just spy-like. And I feel like conversation entries, for the most part, are something that I'm like, I don't think that this is a hard rule, but if it looks spy-like or AI-like, I'll take note of it. But yeah, I also think we should have redirected out the briefcase. We didn't make like any like weird movements after someone picked it up or like went over it. Like I think we should have, and so that's also like kind of got me watching that conversation entry, and then I decided to watch it. But let's watch it again so I could show you what I mean. So it's like right here, and I'll stop the camera. So we're watching this. He should have been redirected right now, but he's still moving in his same path. And look how like wide it is. It's like that, as opposed to it should be kind of like this probably, but it's just really weirdly like. See how, and that's what I mean too. Like, look how linear the end of that path is. Like it's just straight onto the pad. It's like you do this curve and then you go straight onto the pad. It's very spy-like. Like let me trace his movements here. Like if you're watching, it's like this and then this, very straight. So you see the end of that is very, very spy-like. That's a spy-like thing to do. Spies will do that all the time. Not worth shooting. You don't shoot for it. In game, we highlight it, but we don't shoot it. And then, yeah, the other path that I saw that I really hated was this very linear path. Oh yeah, and then the BB. Yeah, let me show you what I also noticed here.
Banana bread.
And then the instant stop talk after the BB because it was a white BB, I'm assuming. Yep. And then very linear path into conversation. Yep. Very straight movement. And yeah, that's just very spy-like, and I was almost like 90% sure that it's probably just Duke here. And but like remember, right? And I'm saying all this because like, and it looks so obvious. You're like, wow, that looks really easy. But if you think about like this position, you kind of think to yourself like, I already had like 5, 6, 7 lowlights, pathing lowlights from this venue, and assuming the spy's not AI controlled, then I already have it down to probably like 4 or 5 people. And at that point, you just can watch everything so easily. And that's like the big plus of the pathing playstyle, where you can get all these nice lowlights and you have less to watch. And so mission counting becomes like exponentially easier. You do all you have to do. The main sort of goal with pathing sniping is that at the first like minute of the game, you just camp missions. You make sure no one's cheesing, and then what you got to do is then you just watch pathing and take lowlights, and you're all good. You and then you successfully have like adopted the pathing playstyle, right? You could be like me and you could be like a straight mission counter with some like doses of pathing here and there. But if you want to become a pure pather, it's definitely worth it to adopt this playstyle. For many different reasons. I mean, you can get so good at reading AI movement. You can get good at just watching missions late game. You don't take like hard frame shots. So pathing has a lot of pros, but the main con is that sometimes you miss missions because you're camping like a path, you're watching a path, like, and you miss this by doing stuff. So it's a double-edged sword. Every style has drawbacks. You either play like intuitively, you play with pathing, or you play with mission counting. And pathing seems really strong. It seems unbeatable because you're like, well, if someone knows how AI's path, how do I possibly win? Well, um, you just you play fast. That's what you do. Or you get really good at pathing and trying to replicate things on the spy side, and you improve, and that's all what the game's all about. That's part of the depth at this part of the stage. Okay, but I think I talked about everything that I want to talk about in this game. I'm assuming we go for like a direct Perlin or inspect at the end. Yeah, we do. Okay, fair enough. Okay, we have another gross high rise setup. Any 3 of 6, 12 guess 345. Basically going to be playing it like the same way I played the last one, except this time I have to watch swap, and it's the hardtail variant, which means that fingerprints off, purbline's on. Oh, and we got Skarnia versus Hoffnung, two of my most active people, I would say, like people that I play with. I play with Skarnia and Hoffnung a lot. Maybe not Skarnia as much, but Hoff I play with a lot. So, all right, here we go. Gotta watch Bug, obviously. Okay, to me, it doesn't look like there's a bug. I gotta watch Duke, though. Okay, so we have sheep. Okay, yeah, okay. We just take the purloin. But I'm not. I mean, there could have been a reject before this. I should watch. Okay, we got redirected from the briefcase from Irish. We know it wasn't Duke because he was on the left side of the venue near the ambassador. That was a slide. Yeah, it's probably just Rocker. And we like hurry up and gulp our drink. Okay, so we're gonna watch the blinks. Okay, but Buns is blocking me here. But that seemed like a pretty good statue put down. Oh yeah, it can't be general by the way. I don't think. But I guess it technically could be. I don't know. Yeah, okay. That's a missed pad. And that just confirms our suspicions. Not much to say about that game. I mean, White Purling at the beginning of the game, like I said just like a minute ago, where you want to watch like the first minute of the game for a lot of cheeses. I've been burned too many times from Purloin cheeses, so I was watching it. Nothing much to say there. And then I watched her paths and was able to find the shot. Was able to basically like, do some nice confirmation. So yeah. All right, forward versus jumpy left on Moderne. Any 5 of 8, so probably a really easy setup. And same thing as pub, I'm just going to take every single low light that I see fit, without any regard if they're in AI control or not, because I care more about pathing knowledge in this what do I want to call it? In this like series, I guess. So I want to focus on pathing, and if I low light the spy, the AI control, and then they like happen to win, oh well. It's like uh that's one of the major drawbacks to a path thing, where if they AI control and then they rush at the last like minute and you have them low lit, it's basically free microfilm, free prints, free delegate, free anything. But anyway, all right, Moderne. All right, we have sheep, scream, and puff, and no time ads. It looks like. And I'm watching Irish and Rocker here. Okay. Okay, general. Okay, slide. Okay, and if you notice, I'm pretty sure it was sheep, scream, puff. So is there going to be a bug here? Let's watch White Dress's path, though. Okay, that is the incorrect path. It should be this, 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 this.
And
And,
the end of red.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. I saw the swap. I think well, I didn't see the swap fade, but it's a swap because I memorized the statue. The sheep, scream, and then puff. Not sheep, dove, scream. But we'll continue watching pathing because otherwise we're just going to do the analysis. And you see there was a little bump right there. So the spy is white dress, just in case anyone wasn't clear. Correct briefcase etiquette. This could just be a straight up or a straight up purloin. And if it is, I'm gonna shoot. Um, yeah, we're just gonna shoot. Yeah, there's just not much else to say. Sometimes this is what I mean. Like part of the pathing style. Sometimes like when you mission count in the first minute, you really don't even need to like use any pathing, or you don't really even need to really play the game because they're gonna try and cheese against you, and then you just find it. So very very helpful. Okay. I don't want to just sit here and watch paths all game, so I'm going to skip to library. All right, library, I don't really use pathing on it because it's already a 5 of 8, and I just mission count it myself. So I'm going to probably just play like normally here, and if I see anything like noteworthy I see, or like entries that I'm like, that's not right, I'll talk about it, but most of the time on library, I'm just mission camping, and it's just the easiest way to play it, in my opinion. So let's go. Okay, 3H and HAB, so 3H and half. And if you notice, there's been a time ad. So general and the person I just saw walking right in front of me, probably Smallman, honestly, but all right, we'll see. No Chiefs Purloin, which you love to see. Okay, Irish takes first case. Irish has some nice bounces. Well, here's the thing. We know that any pathing thing that we see can immediately be low lit because the spy is not in AI control because of that time ad. There should still be a print on. Okay, that's a low light from Irish, I think. I think I saw her stutter step. Okay, there's a print at blue, but I think it's only a difficult. Yeah, Irish also just took a drink too. I think she's. I don't think she's a spy. Okay, Rocker reject. Watching Bug. Okay, he doesn't bug, which is nice. Rocker Duke, and then Plane Twin. Okay, that was a weird entry from Plane Twin, I have to say. Okay, Whiterest I think takes a drink, or Duke takes a drink. Or yeah, okay, Duke does take a drink. I think it's Plane Twin, honestly. That conversation entry just does not seem right. And maybe you could argue that Smallman just did animation two animation microfilms, but that remains to be seen. Will he bug here? No, but that's a slide, so it's probably not Smallman, huh? It's probably just Plane Twin. I mean, I don't think it's immediate talk. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's Plane Twin. So let's watch the rest of the game though. Okay, Smallman goes to like the third bookcase, which is kind of funny. Rocker bounce. Yeah, good. Yeah, bouncing. Yeah, really good. That's really good. Um, let's watch Plane Twin's entry here in the conversation. Get center statue. Oh, we don't get a center statue, which is interesting. Oh, and well, no, what am I saying? We already have an inspect. Are we gonna swap here? So let's transfer microfilm, inspects. If we green swap here, that's a swap. But we have no BB, I don't think so. Okay, so I'm fine. I don't have to shoot yet. I'm still good. That was not. That should have been. Yeah, that should have been a redirect. That should have been a redirect. That was just completely wrong. It's definitely Plane Twin, by the way. Let's watch this. Yeah, and just like, it looks like he's just waiting for waiting for something to happen, like waiting for him to be able to do something. Okay, we go back to yellow bookcase, which I find weird. Seeks a middle center inspects. Okay, well, Twin already has inspect the microfilm. Is this gonna be the swap? Pretty late swap if you ask me, but okay. Can Taft move? Okay, but okay, wait, but he didn't green swap it though, which I find interesting. Okay, this should be a bump right here from Seek. Yep. Because remember when he took that snapshot of himself leaving, Twin wasn't there, but then, mid path, Twin was there. Okay, I think he just clipped on the pillar there. We could see another timeout here. If he does that, I'm shooting him. I'm still watching for pathing things, by the way. That's why I'm still letting the game go on, even though I know it's plain Twin. Is he gonna bug here? No bug, interestingly enough. Doesn't bump into Duke. Yeah, very, very spy-like to just readjust for that like little spot in conversation there. Redirect from Smallman off of the statues. Should be seeing a BB here right now, maybe. If that's why he's talking. Yeah, so BB, inspects, no swap, microfilm, and there it is. We'll shoot him now. Yeah, still needed one more mission, but um, uh, if I mean I knew it was him, so. And then what's our last mission? Fingerprint? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm assuming we got some sort of fingerprint somewhere. I wasn't really paying attention because when you already know it's a spy, I mean, I was done at that point. But yeah, fingerprints are a nice finish from Bobby here. Okay, 4 of 7 Terrace is probably just a free win. But there are a lot of like at least semi decent things that you could watch on Terrace. I'm gonna be so sad if this ends up being 7 out of 8 because I took a really stupid shot on high rise. It was really just dumb of me. Like it was just pure paranoia because I was like, oh, Blink Twin bugged, but I'm gonna be so sad. Okay, so Terrace, forward and jumpy luff, and let's see what happens. So we have sheep and puff. Teal's path was interesting there. So is generals. Okay, so sheep and puff. Okay, let's watch Queen's path out of the bar. Yeah. Okay, that was a little. Nah, well, that could be okay. But if Queen's not in AI control, then Queen is a low light. Okay, no bug from Kane there is what I was watching.
Banana bread.
BB, I'm watching for conversation motion in case we delegate. I don't remember who the other person at bar was, so I need to watch just general conversation, like pathing. Okay, general leaves, and general was one of the people I highlight at the beginning. But this isn't 3 of 7, where normally you have like a much less like margin for error. Teal maybe could have bugged there, I don't know. That was ugly. He should have went like this. Why'd he go like this? That does not seem right to me. Right now, by the way, I'm just highlighting for statues at this point. Teal looks a little suspicious to me, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think it's probably Teal actually. I also don't know who has real BB, which is my bad, but yep, that's a normal looking path. Yeah, his path looks fine. There's like the little wiggle around Damon. Okay, it's probably Teal. So if Teal goes to another statue, I'm just gonna assume she has bug. I mean, I know I was just talking about myself being paranoid. Um, oh, and that's actually a delegate. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea who just delegated. But I think it's general though, because Teal wasn't at the bar, so I know Kane doesn't have. I don't think Kane's been to the bar either, so I also know he doesn't have a fourth mission. I'm pretty sure it's just general, but I'm gonna keep watching to make sure. And I'm gonna watch every path. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Both those paths looks fine. Mm, that didn't look great. Looked okay enough. Okay, Alice looks okay. Let's watch Irish here. Ew, that was gross. Okay, General should bug, I think. Oh wait, but we just took a fingerprint, so it's probably just General. Yeah. I think General was my top suspect for the purloin. I didn't know honestly. Honestly, I didn't know if he had another finger. Oh, he did have another fingerprint. Okay, that's why I shot. I shot for fingerprints there because I thought he had another print. I honestly thought he had another print, so I was like, oh, okay, I need to shoot this because I don't know if that's a mission completion. Yeah, he was my top suspect for that delegate, by the way. I didn't think anyone else really had a delegate, so I was like, okay, it's probably General. Well, let me see what it was. Yeah, because I know Tex. It looked like he sent Tex. Okay, yeah, so yeah, he sent. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I was like 99% sure it was general, but I was still watching everybody else to make sure like they didn't have anything. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I really had anybody else. Who was it? Who else was at bar with him though? I thought there was someone else at bar with him. Oh, okay. I guess there wasn't. I guess yeah. I guess he was the only one who it could have been. I think because the other two people couldn't have delegated it to Amba in that like short amount of time. But I think we did get a few pathing things, and I think I noticed that like a lot of there were like a nice chunk of pathing lilies I was able to take because I just like yeah this is just a correct path, but a lot of AI paths to me sometimes look good and sometimes they look bad, and you know like I said earlier it's more like pattern recognition slash like oh I'm gonna like keep this at the back of my mind because I think it's a little suspicious because I said, "Oh, Irish, I hated that," but it's obviously Irish is AI, so it's not. I'm not 100% accurate with it. Like everything's not just like a straight rule. Like okay, this has to be the spy. There's no 100% accuracy with like looking at paths because sometimes AI can replicate spy-like paths, and spies can replicate AI-like paths, and that's just something that you're gonna have to deal with as a pathing sniper if you want to play this play style. Um, you just have to do that. So. But yeah, good game. I think I had the purloin down, and then I was like 99% sure it was general, just waiting for more confirmation, or if anybody else did anything egregious, and maybe I was wrong. Okay, there's no pathing on Teien except like conversation entries, so I'm gonna play like usual this game, and then if I see something, I'll shoot it. All right, so let's go. Our final game to see if I will reverse choke. I'm sure I missed a bug somewhere, but it's all good. All right, Plane Twin's getting offered to, and takes. Okay, briefcase is up front, and then we have AHB, and then 3A. Okay, Rocker could easily have a bug here. Okay, Blink Twin rejects. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. All right, Wheels leaves right on time. And goes for the briefcase, which he's obligated to take, by the way. Smallman maybe rejects there. Rocker with her, like, third bug. Okay, Wheels has the first print of the game, though. But a pretty nice briefcase return. I'm not suspicious of that. Also, White just got redirected. That was a really nice AI like path, so I'm gonna lowlight that. I like the redirect off the bookcase, and I also really like that we, sort of like redirected into conversation, and the path into conversation looked pretty AI-like. So Smallman. Okay, looks like it's to Alice. Oh no, it's to Queen. Sorry. Okay, we're at front bookcase. Wheels. Smallman could have time added there, I think. Okay, that was a slide. Okay, Duke at the back, but I don't think Duke has anything. Smallman might be trying to bug here or something. Blink Twins path looks good. I really want to watch Purloin. Okay, while he's sipping, I'm gonna look. All right. Okay, Alice returns correctly, which makes my pathing low light good. Okay, Rocker just broke animation, so it's Rocker. I also said it was doing half etiquette, so he was mid-page turn and he left. So it should be Rocker. Let's watch her next path, and I'll probably be able to shoot her for it. Okay, well, I can't really shoot for that. We don't have a BB yet, so even if she has a bug and, like, by some miracle, fingerprints slash, like, microfilm, we can wait for the BB. Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, I think it's just Rocker. The bookcase etiquette, or the book etiquette is not correct. And as soon as she talks for this BB here, I'm going to shoot her and hopefully not miss. BB right now.
Banana bread.
Yep. All right, there we go. 7-1 in 21 minutes because I wanted to talk during the games. Taiyen's a hard one, so let me show you what I saw. And yeah, we have a bug, and I know exactly where it's at. Yeah, so I did credit this, so I did have this. Obviously, I mean Reddit's just hit or Rock. I said Reddit. Rocker's just hidden right inside the ambassador. You have to credit that on Taiyen. Anybody's capable of taking that bug. So let me show you what I saw. All right. So interactive spy camera. So watch. She's mid-page turn and she leaves. They can only leave in between cycles, but watch. She's mid-cycle and she left. She was about to turn the page, but she left, and we saw that, and I knew she was going to be the spy. And so we go for a fingerprint here also, which is also very spy-like to just break animation and go into a fingerprint or something. Very spy-like. So, but yeah, that's Tan. Tan, there's not a lot of like pathing stuff, so yeah, I can't really talk about much on this. So I played like normal, like I would in any other game. Okay. And there we go. Very sad that I missed my shot onto Rov, but I should know better because Rov's a very slow spy. But I always try to stay objective and try not to just, like, oh, this person plays like this, so I'm gonna be wary of this. So I think I'm just really mad at myself because I don't know why I shot Blink Twin there. I normally take the mentality that like if you think you missed a hardtail, and this is kind of how you get over your paranoia in SpyParty, where like if you think you missed a mission, you have to just roll with the punches. You missed a mission, you missed something. You have to let them end the game, and you have to just watch for something else, and hopefully you get bailed out. So what I mean by this is that like on high rise, so sorry doesn't have anything, right? And let's say that Bling Twin actually, bugged there, right? And the game doesn't end, and we still have time to look for things. Well, he could do something else that's incriminating, or that actually is allowing me to sort of say, oh wait, that was the spy. But of course, you have to take into mind like, okay, maybe like you think a path is really suspicious. There's like a million different reasons you could take a shot there. It just wasn't the right. It just wasn't the right one. Blinked because like if you don't see the path, I guess Blink Twin's a little suspicious. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's the only major mistake I made in this set. I think every other game was just pretty like, okay, this is the spy. I don't need to really think about it. Um, you did notice though, like on Moderne, that red dress game, the very first game we played against Verdress, where like we took all those pathing lowlights and then we have BB lowlights, and the party's already whittled down like quite a fair bit. And so like watching something like that Purloin becomes really obvious because all the lowlights that are at like mission sites aren't, you're not watching them because they're lowlit. So it's very, very nice. So, but anyway, going back to the high rise game, so how I wish I would have played it was I just wish I held my shot because I didn't actually see the bug. I was just shooting on the thought that it was a bug. And typically, like I said earlier, the best way to play against like paranoia, the best way to avoid paranoia shooting, is to just kind of hold. Because say on like a 4 of 8, a 5 of 8 venue, if you think they did something and you think they BB'd and you don't have any other mission count for that character, you should not be shooting them. You should wait for them to do something else. And and listen, if you miss something and you really think they did it and you really want to shoot them, you should just let the game end because, either they didn't do something and, you're able to catch them on something else later on in the game, or something bad can happen and, and you lose. But it's okay because if you lose, at least you learn something from that game, right? Like let's say I did let's say I didn't let's say Bling Twin actually bugged on that high rise game and we don't shoot him and we get mission wind, right? Like it's okay because you learn something, right? Like next time I'm going to make sure to watch the ambassador, or next time I'm going to be like, "Oh, did Bling Twin really bump into the ambassador there, or was that just like a collision off of Kane?" I don't know. But when you go back and analyze your games, that's when you sort of get that intuition and you're like, oh, okay, I made a mistake, but I can rectify it by doing this. So that's that's kind of how you sort of analyze your like bad games. You say, okay, what could I have done differently here? What could I have fixed for next time? And you think of something else. You think of other reasons like, what did I miss? Did I miss any free lowlights this game? Did I see a mission and I just didn't have it in my head? Whatever it is. Now, in our case, we didn't really miss anything from Sorry on the high rise game. I'm assuming we just did like flirting, maybe moved like one time. I'm not completely sure, but it is just unfortunate that there was no mission progress from anybody. That's why I'm like mad at myself for this shot because I even knew in the game there's just nothing to shoot for. No one has anything. I mean, there's no reason to shoot. But you can. I got paranoid. It happens to even me, and I took a shot. So next time I'm going to tell myself, okay, instead of being paranoid, just wait the spy out. If they did do the mission, okay, well then I also have something to learn from. But if they didn't do something, then I still have a chance to win the game because they still have to do something else. So that's the way you got to kind of be thinking about paranoia. But okay, we got 7-1, which isn't bad on a level 6. This, I'm not going to lie, felt like a pretty easy level 6, and most of these games were just pretty easily able to be mission counted without much difficulty. We did get a lot of nice pathing lowlights on some of these venues. I'm glad we got Pub, Moderne, Terrace. We got a lot of nice pathing venues, so I could show off some more of the pathing knowledge that I have. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is probably one of the shortest ones I've done so far. I think it's only like 40 some minutes right now, and so it's not that long. All right. We'll see you guys next one in the final video, which is going to be level 7. It's going to be the final one. I think I'm going to cut this one short so that the next one I could just focus on the way that I actually play. And it's probably going to basically be a redo of my first iteration where I sort of tried to keep everything as baseline as possible. But I'm going to be improving upon it because, I feel like I improved as a player in the past couple of months since I've released it. Because I think I released it up down in September, so it's almost been a year since it's been since the first iteration has been posted. So I'm hope to do that after the last pathing video, and after I showcase how, sort of not, I don't want to say useless, but like how like hard it is to path against high level players because they still know how to, sort of get around that whole pathing knowledge things, because they can be a pathing spy. But we'll get into that on level 7. I appreciate everyone for sticking around this long, and hopefully this helped, and I will see you next time. All right, see you guys.